The glass counter shook as Daniel Hayes, a 38-year-old single dad, carefully slid the cracked iPhone across to the man waiting. The phone buzzed once, screen flickering alive. Daniel exhaled, proud of his work until a soft voice recording began to play through the speaker. The CEO standing there went pale, his eyes locking on Daniel as though he'd just seen a ghost. Where did you get this?" The CEO whispered, his hand trembling. The entire shop fell silent. "Before we dive in, drop a comment with where you're watching from. And don't forget to hit subscribe for more videos like this. Let's begin." Asterisk asterisk, the tiny repair shop smelled faintly of solder and coffee. Daniel had built this place with his own two hands, not for wealth, but for survival for his little girl, Lily. Every phone he fixed meant one more meal, one more month of rent. The CEO, Marcus Ellison, a man whose face was often on Forbes covers, had stepped in that afternoon like a storm in a three-piece suit. No assistant, no entourage. Just a man holding the shattered iPhone like it carried the weight of the world. "You fix phones fast?" Marcus asked, voice sharp but exhausted. Daniel nodded. "Depends on the damage. Let me take a look." The glass was spider-webbed, frame bent, but Daniel's hands worked with practiced precision. He didn't know he was holding more than a broken device. He was holding a secret Marcus had buried. As the phone rebooted, Marcus leaned against the counter, eyes wandering. He noticed the little drawing pinned on the wall, a stick figure, Dad holding his daughter's hand. In crayon, Lily had written, "My hero." Something in Marcus's jaw softened, but only for a second. Then the phone lit up. A notification appeared. Voice memo 2 years ago. The recording began to autoplay. A woman's voice filled the shop, tender, familiar. "Marcus, if you're hearing this, it means you still have a heart left in you. Please, don't forget the promise you made." Marcus staggered back, face ashen. Daniel froze, not knowing if he should stop the playback. But something in Marcus's eyes, fear, regret, recognition, made him pause. "Turn it off," Marcus snapped. But his voice cracked, betraying something deeper. Daniel clicked pause. "Sorry, I didn't mean." Marcus's hand trembled as he reached for the phone but stopped halfway. His chest heaved like the air had turned heavy. Whose voice was that? Daniel asked carefully. Marcus's eyes flicked to him. "No one. You need to know." But Daniel saw it. This wasn't just a CEO's broken phone. It was the crack in a man's armor, and behind it lay a secret that could shatter everything. Asterisk asterisk, Daniel didn't move, his fingers resting lightly on the counter, as if the wrong gesture would shatter the tension lingering in the air. He could feel Marcus's stare drilling into him, but there was something behind that look. Fear, yes, but also vulnerability. "I said give me the phone," Marcus repeated, his voice sharp. But the tremor betrayed him. Daniel slid it forward. But instead of letting go, his hand stayed on the phone for a heartbeat longer. "Look, man, I don't know what's going on here. But that voice, whoever she was, it mattered to you. You looked like you saw a ghost." Marcus's jaw tightened. "You repair phones, not lives. Stick to what you know." He snatched the device and shoved it into his jacket pocket. Daniel almost let it go. Almost. But something inside him stirred. The memory of his late wife's voice message. The only thing Lily had left of her mother. He knew the way Marcus froze wasn't just corporate stress. That was grief. That was guilt. "You don't have to tell me your story," Daniel said softly. "But sometimes, listening to the right voice at the right moment, it saves you." Marcus blinked, clearly unsettled by the empathy he didn't expect from a man in worn jeans and calloused hands. His lips parted as if he might say something, but then his phone vibrated. He pulled it out, glanced at the screen, and muttered, "Not now." Still, his eyes darted toward Daniel before he turned for the door. The next evening, just as Daniel was closing up shop, headlights flooded the street. A sleek black SUV pulled up, and Marcus stepped out. This time, no Armani suit, just a plain shirt, sleeves rolled up. He looked less like a CEO and more like a man wrestling with shadows. Daniel stiffened. "Forget to pay the repair bill?" he asked, forcing some humor. Marcus didn't smile. He held out the phone. "It keeps replaying that file. No matter how many times I delete it, it comes back. Can you fix that?" Daniel took the phone, brows furrowed. "It's just a glitch. I'll check." He connected it to his old laptop, the screen glowing in the dim shop. As lines of code scrolled, Marcus hovered, restless. "Tell me," Daniel said carefully, "why does this recording shake you up so bad?" Marcus leaned against the counter, shoulders slumping. "Because the voice belongs to the only person I ever loved, and I destroyed her." Daniel glanced up. "Destroyed her?" Marcus's throat worked. His polished mask cracked. "She was my wife. She begged me to slow down, to care more about family than chasing millions. I didn't listen. She left. Weeks later, she was gone, car accident." The shop fell quiet except for the faint hum of the laptop fan. "She recorded that memo before she walked out. And every time I hear it, it's like she's here, reminding me of the man I swore I'd never become. And yet, look at me." He gave a bitter laugh. "A CEO with an empire and no one to come home to." Daniel swallowed hard. "I get it. I lost my wife too. Different story, but same emptiness. Some nights my little girl asks why her mom isn't tucking her in, and He broke off, his voice thickening. For the first time, Marcus didn't see Daniel as a poor repairman. He saw him as a mirror. "You ever think maybe that voice keeps coming back because you need to hear it?" Daniel asked quietly. "Not as punishment, as a second chance. To do right by someone else." Marcus studied him, unsettled. The words lodged. Just then, a soft knock at the glass door startled them. Lily stood there, clutching a drawing. Her blonde hair was pulled into a crooked ponytail, cheeks smudged with pencil. "Daddy, I finished," she chirped, holding up a picture of Daniel fixing a phone while she sat beside him with a crown on her head. Marcus's eyes softened, his throat tightening. The innocence in Lily's eyes, the warmth between father and daughter, it was everything he'd buried beneath boardrooms and balance sheets. "You've got a good kid," Marcus murmured. "She's the only reason I keep standing," Daniel said, ruffling Lily's hair. "When I'm about to give up, she's my reminder that there's still good in the world." Marcus lingered on that image, Daniel's hand resting gently on his daughter's shoulder, Lily beaming like the sun. For a fleeting second, Marcus imagined himself back in the life he lost. Then, the phone buzzed again. Another voice memo played. Unbidden. This time, the voice was sharp, urgent. "Marcus, if you ever forget, look at our daughter. She carries the part of me you'll never lose." Daniel's head whipped up. "Your daughter?" Marcus's face went ghost white. "You have a child?" Daniel asked. Marcus swallowed, eyes darting to the floor. "Had. She was taken from me after the accident, raised by relatives. I haven't seen her since she was 3. The silence was deafening. Lily's curious eyes blinked between them. Daniel spoke carefully. "Maybe this isn't a glitch. Maybe it's a reminder to find her." Marcus's lips pressed into a line. He looked down at Lily, then back at Daniel. "You don't understand. If the world knew, it would change everything. My daughter's existence. It's been hidden for years." The words spilled out like a confession, heavy, raw. And in that moment, Daniel realized this wasn't just about repairing a phone. It was about repairing a broken man. Marcus left that night quieter than he came, but with a lingering glance at Lily that Daniel couldn't ignore. As Daniel locked the shop, Lily slipped her hand into his. "Daddy, that man looks sad. You should help him." Daniel smiled faintly. "Maybe you're right, sweetheart." But inside, his gut twisted. Because he knew Marcus wasn't just a client, he was a storm. and Daniel and Lily had just stepped into its path. The following days carried a strange weight inside Daniel's little repair shop. Every time the doorbell jingled, he half expected Marcus to return. And sure enough, 3 evenings later, he did same black SUV, same restless eyes, but now, with something new, hesitation, Marcus walked in clutching the phone like it burned him. His gaze darted toward Lily, who sat coloring at the counter, humming softly to herself. For the first time, he smiled a thin, weary curve of his lips. Daniel caught it. "You came back." Marcus cleared his throat. "The file. It won't stop. Every morning it plays. Every night. It's like she's haunting me." His hand trembled. "But maybe she's right. Maybe I need to find my daughter." Daniel leaned forward. "Then do it. Don't waste another second." Marcus shook his head. "You don't understand. I don't even know where she is. After the accident, her mother's family took her, changed their number, moved states. I buried myself in work instead of searching." "Because you were afraid," Daniel said bluntly. Marcus flinched. The truth cut deep. That night, after Lily fell asleep on the couch with her crayon box still open, Daniel sat across from Marcus at the counter. The flickering desk lamp made shadows stretch across the wall. "You've got resources, Marcus. You're a CEO. If you really wanted to, you could find her." Marcus's voice cracked. "And if she hates me? If she thinks I abandoned her?" Daniel's own chest tightened. He thought of Lily, her wide eyes whenever she asked about her mom. Kids don't care about perfection. They care that you show up. He paused, lowering his voice. "You'd rather live with regret than risk rejection?" The silence between them was heavy, broken only by the soft sound of Lily breathing in her sleep. Marcus's eyes lingered on her, and for the first time, his armor fully cracked. Tears welled, unspoken guilt surfacing after years of burying it beneath boardroom victories. "I don't even know how to be a father," Marcus whispered. Daniel leaned back. "Start by being honest, then the rest, you learn as you go." The next morning, Marcus made his move. He returned to the shop, phone in hand, determination etched into his features. "I hired someone, a private investigator." He found her. Daniel straightened. "Already? She's here, in this city. 17 years old." His voice faltered. "Her name is Ava." For a moment, the room spun. Daniel felt the weight of Marcus's confession like it was his own. The woman in the recording, the promise, the haunting guilt, it all pointed to this missing girl. "So what's stopping you?" Daniel asked. Marcus's face was pale. "I don't know how to face her. She doesn't even know I exist." Daniel's jaw tightened. "Then let her decide. Don't steal her chance at knowing the truth." 2 days later, Marcus finally asked Daniel for help. "You've been through loss. You understand things I don't. Will you come with me?" Daniel hesitated. But Lily, overhearing, chimed in. "Daddy, you should. That man needs you." And so he agreed. The address led them to a modest neighborhood on the edge of town. Houses with peeling paint, cracked sidewalks, kids riding bikes in the street. It was a far cry from Marcus's glass towers and luxury cars. Marcus sat in the Wagus SUV, hands gripping the wheel so tight his knuckles whitened. Daniel put a steady hand on his shoulder. "You don't have to be perfect. Just be present." When they knocked, an older woman answered, Ava's grandmother. Her eyes widened at the sight of Marcus, then narrowed in anger. "You have no right to be here." Marcus's voice was low, trembling. "Please, I just want to see her." "One time." The woman's jaw tightened. For a moment, Daniel thought she would slam the door. But then, behind her, footsteps echoed. A girl appeared, 17, with piercing blue eyes that mirrored Marcus's. She froze, confusion written all over her face. "Who is he?" she asked. The grandmother's lips pressed tight. "Nobody you need to know." But Ava's gaze locked on Marcus, studying his trembling hands, his watery eyes. Something instinctive flickered in her expression. Marcus's voice cracked. "Ava, I'm your father." The world seemed to stop. The girl's breath hitched, shock flashing across her face. "My father?" The grandmother started to protest, but Daniel stepped in. "Ma'am, with respect, this isn't about you or him. It's about her knowing the truth." The old woman's shoulders sagged, and she stepped aside. Inside, Marcus sat across from Ava at a worn kitchen table. His hands shook so badly he could barely hold the glass of water offered to him. Daniel stood quietly in the corner, letting the moment breathe. "I thought you didn't want me," Ava said, voice small. "All these years, no letters, no calls." Marcus's face broke. "I wanted you more than anything. But I was a coward. I drowned in work because I couldn't face what I'd lost. I let guilt chain me, and because of that, I lost you too." Tears filled her eyes, her teenage facade cracking. "So why now?" "Because your mother's voice wouldn't let me forget. She left me a message, a promise I failed to keep. And then I met someone who reminded me that it's never too late to do the right thing." His eyes flicked toward Daniel. Ava's gaze softened, her fingers twisting the edge of her sleeve. "I don't know if I can forgive you." Marcus nodded, swallowing hard. "You don't have to. Just let me try. Let me show up. Even if all you let me do is sit here and listen." The silence stretched long, heavy, but not empty. Something shifted in Ava's expression, a crack in the wall she'd built her whole life. Finally, she whispered, "Maybe." It was enough. As they left, Marcus stood by the SUV staring at the night sky, tears streaking his face. He turned to Daniel, voice raw. "You were right. That voice memo. It wasn't a curse. It was a lifeline." Daniel clapped his shoulder. "Then hold on to it. And don't let go this time." Marcus exhaled, nodding slowly. "I won't." Weeks later, Daniel's shop door jingled again. This time Marcus wasn't alone. Ava was with him. She clutched her backpack nervously, but smiled shyly at Lily, who waved enthusiastically. Marcus looked lighter, younger even, as if years had fallen away. He set the repaired phone on the counter and slid it back to Daniel. "I don't need this to remind me anymore. She's right here." Daniel smiled, watching Lily and Ava laugh together. For the first time, Marcus wasn't a CEO weighed down by ghosts. He was just a father learning, fumbling, but trying. And Daniel knew sometimes fixing a broken phone wasn't about circuits or glass. Sometimes it was about mending lives.